I don't want today. A great moment in time, I tell ya. Now then, let's get to it quickly, shall we? Setting everything up. I'm a bit late, not well. Was preparing a few more replay summoned emotes. That greedy old Twitch can continue fuck it with me without me having to worry about it too much. Oh, look at that, it's a little William. Welcome, little William. Let me show. Why will you come to me when you're in the shower? Why are you doing it, William? Also, good timing on my part. Now I can annoy you while you're under the shower. Fritz, my friend. Fritz indeed. Now then, since we're late anyway, we are going to do another short one. I know. They have been many in the last 2 weeks, but, well, it is what it is. It will get better, probably. Oh yeah, hello Sand, I forgot. I was about to say, what the fuck is that? Of course. Halloween. Halloween, wow. Was that actually? I'm pretty sure they had that in Classic, didn't they? I somewhat remember. Faintly. Basically. Okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna watch, let's say, this part and the next part of Christian's horror story so we can, at some point, maybe, potentially finish it. Otherwise, you know,
Chris uncovered the striped shirt which he often wore during the 2000s and was referred by avid followers of Chris or Christorians as the Classic. At first, she thought that the shirt had been destroyed in what she stated was the house fire of January 10th, 2017, but nevertheless checked again and found it was in need of repair and would be restored to its former glory.
Let's see if YouTube's actually cooperative on this evening.
It to a willing buyer. She posted the Classic shirt on eBay with an opening bid of $12,000 or a buy it now price of $20,000. She soon followed up
20,000 for a bloody fucking destroyed shirt, which you couldn't basically buy
since November
easily enough.
Captain's log, stardate 04192017. We have resurrected this old antique, the very same shirt that you've seen me wear in the comics, as shown between these two. At least
will you please load YouTube? Will you be nice to me? I'll give it a minute.
I lifted more than 20 bags.
Just a minute though. Just a minute though.
And fortunately, this was not in a bag that had the dirt and wall lining into it. No, this was just really damp.
I think it is loaded. I shall accept that.
Close to the bottom of the mountain of was clean laundry that was stacked in front of the dryer before.
Of course, there was a lot of that. I'm not surprised. Not at all that these people do not take care of their clothing.
I've been expecting you.
Are you surprised? You shouldn't be surprised.
That tag came out, and that was the tag on the back of this shirt. Alright, but fortunately I was able to look closely and
nobody should be surprised
it, so
at hook and all.
I'll be posting this onto the eBay page shortly. But right now I'm just gonna read it to you as I have put in my notepad. So this shirt, first off, I'm gonna say,
how are you?
Is more than 14 years old.
Off and away.
And we have bought this, my mom and I, my family and I, we have bought this shirt, among other clothing, in one of the Goodwills. I don't know which one, but out of the final selling amount of this thing, so we're hoping it's gonna be on.
What's that one?
I mean, Ben, if you're seriously going to pay,
easy enough to do, I suppose.
And I want to be paid immediately after the listing ends, which should be sometime on Friday, the 21st.
Yeah, but
first off, this shirt is a polo shirt from Ralph Lauren.
Get her back.
I mean, I'll take it for the moment.
This shirt was made in the USA. It's 100% cotton.
Hi, how are you?
And it is a size L, large.
Badlands.
So put on a little child to be bigger than that.
Don't feel it. Don't feel it. I'm gonna go and quickly get that quest out of the way too.
Quickie. Alright, so anyway,
Then
I guess that's about it for this week's
guess we
Captain
go
Log,
to
'cause I got,
finish off that
I can't
quest.
think of too many other things. My brain is
Probably
knocked out.
not necessarily a bad idea.
I definitely, and I've realized word today, dementia, the umbrella term for all the mentally wearing down people. I got some dementia, okay? So, give me time, give me space, alright?
Always something with you, Chris. Either it's your autism, now it's dementia.
Have a good
You
day.
never run out of excuses. Isn't that interesting? It's never his fault. That's the main point. It's basically, you know, the essence here. Everything else is at fault,
Not long after,
but not Chris.
bidding officially began on the shirt, with gradually increasing bids presented by Weens unwilling to actually pay the amount. After only 3
is
days,
surprised?
the auction of the item concluded with a winning bid of $25,100. On April 22nd, Christine left an update on Facebook, writing that her mother Barbara had borrowed money out of their life insurance to help pay for some important household items, and pay for the shipping of the sold Sonic Totem, which was successfully delivered to its buyer in 1 day. However, she was still waiting for payment clearance from the mother of the person who was supposed to pay for her classic Ralph Lauren shirt, claiming that not only would the mother be contributing to the historical restoration of a very unique artifact, but she would also improve the artist's family's life. Meanwhile, upon receiving the Sonic Totem, the buyer then released the $1,500, giving it back to Chris. Afterwards, they went to the video game discussion forum of the image board site 4chan to
Candy,
post photos of the
even for you in
delivery
post,
box
Candy
and the
has
contents
arrived.
within, which included
Because
a
of course
handwritten
it is
certificate of
that time of
authenticity,
the year.
which erroneously stated that the item was a one-of-a-kind hand drawing penned by Christian Weston Chandler and the Sonic Totem itself. They also left positive feedback on Chris's eBay account, simply writing that the item arrived safely. On April 27th, Christine delivered another captain's log addressing some of her recent happenings.
I got a lot on my mind. Just
You
whatever.
always have a lot on your mind.
Well, yes. Currently, I'm still having financial problems, and still waiting for the payment on that shirt. At least the first of 3 settled payments.
Yeah, you totally gotta get that money.
Lady in Wisconsin, you're not so cheesy right now. Yeah, promise first payment tomorrow. Well, if you don't make it, I'm putting my foot down. We could talk about other things that I've been through the past week. I went to the UVA a couple of times last week, actually. I went to the Pride Week event last Thursday. Went to the barbecue. We have nice folks. We have nice people of the community over in the center, and
some mystical reason.
And we had a good time. I made friends with some more of them.
Sure you did.
It was good. It was good. Let's see what else happened.
You know, maybe, just maybe,
last 3 Wednesdays I've
you yourself feel that you might be suffering a bit from dementia. Maybe write yourself a bit of a script before you start.
It's been
just maybe would help a bit with that.
My mom around here and there.
I think this is, Chris's day job. He should make money off of this.
Learned a lot in my noggin,
so you can expect some professionalism.
To help out with that.
Doesn't need to be much, mind you, but at least a little bit.
The highlights. Definitely learned more about dementia, and that being the umbrella term for all the mental conditions and whatnot.
Not the umbrella term for all of them.
Umbrella. Anyway.
I don't think, my friend. You understand. Well.
I hate when it happens.
Princess, I don't think Chris doesn't understand anything.
Good.
Sure, yes.
All the classes
Let's assume that dementia is just an umbrella term for all of the mental problems. Sure, let's spend it.
If both of your parents.
Fun fact, there's actually an alcohol-induced dementia. I should know. I worked at an old people's home. Precisely said that station. All of the people that have managed to quite literally drink them. Poor mind away.
Alright, well, anyway, financial
Quite the
crisis
interesting fact, isn't
aside,
it?
we're still faring okay. We have food here at home.
One of
And I'm
those
still
fun
able to
facts.
cook. At least I can cook a good
Don't
meal
think
and
about
keep our house
Wide
a
open.
little bit
Mm-hmm.
pleasant like that.
Oh yeah, I see how pleasant you get. Look just behind, Chris. Just,
Have a
do
good
you
day.
see
Thank
the
you.
fucking amount of boxes and shit they still don't have unpacked? And how long are they living in that house
On
again?
April 29th, Chris announced that despite still not receiving any payment from the buyer of her shirt, she would
Amazing.
attempt to repair the classic herself and film the process after going through several tailors and cleaners who told her that it was quote-unquote beyond help.
Y'all know are very well aware of my shirt. The iconic shirt. Yeah,
I mean,
needs a lot of mending, repair.
to be
It's
fair, it is iconic.
Apparently too big of a project for a tailor to mend, so I'm personally going to do it myself.
No, it's just that you, all the average tailor is probably looking at this and was like, yeah, no, this is shit and it's not worth it.
And since time ran short,
We can spend
until I hear
$500
from,
making this new, but it's a $25 shirt. That ain't a deal.
I'll have the new lower bidder down, of which I've contacted.
Especially because we all know Chris would never pay fucking
which I
500.
contacted.
Let's be honest here, shall we?
He pays. You know, the whole amount or in payments, it's between me and him.
Welcome
Anyway,
to Ratchet.
Skeleton.
Hope you're looking
because
for
my
work.
mother got her money for a little while, I'm gonna pretty much take it to mom myself.
That's a
I got the
pretty easy quest.
I got materials I need, like I got pincushion, some pins, quarter cut fabrics. That was a blessing, and thread. All three colors: red, white, and navy blue. Anyway, so
Correctly prepared is his name.
pretty much I'm gonna do a montage along the way of
I don't think you
mending the
will
shirt,
get
recording it
a montage
my phone
done.
at least. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you. And
Have a
then
good one.
after this thing gets attached, enjoy the show.
This was followed by a
We
series
still
of
need to
5
finish
videos
that
uploaded
one
over the next
quest.
few days,
So what
consisting of
is
her
it?
attempting to sew the holes in her shirt.
Now that was over at Crossroads, I think. Let's fly over there and see.
Right back.
Like being smart.
Can't be that bad.
I'm gonna turn on Fraser.
Those parts of the swarm quests, I think, was it called?
She also accompanied the videos with photos
Yep.
posted on Facebook displaying the gradual process of her restoration. On May 1st, Chris addressed some of the negative comments left on her sewing videos. Just listen, everyone. This shirt has been through a lot in its 14-plus year lifetime, especially with me wearing the thing. I've worn it at least half the
Oh, you
time I
want to
drew
send
and wrote
me
the pages of my first 11
to
Sonichu
Desilee's.
books 0 through 10. Not to mention at some of the Fridays at Pokemon TCG League, when it was at the game and hobby place, and it was
Yep,
definitely worn at
definitely.
least half the times when I went and tried,
That's gonna be
waited,
painful.
hoped,
At least
prayed,
at the
and even
moment.
paced between Fashion Square, Piedmont, Virginia Community College, Walmart's, McDonald's in Charlottesville, Virginia, and even that one time in the newly opened Target, and when I was dogpiled on by the damn police, freaking jerk-cops, so including
Well,
that one
yes.
time I ended up in jail, and so many other times, trials and tribulations, good and bad. I even counted the times when I was manipulated, by the damn trolls and bullies who pretended to be women, who sincerely liked to loved me. This shirt was there too. I look at this shirt and I see myself from more than 2 years ago, and I wish I could go back and redirect myself for something
Spirits be
better.
with thee,
And
man.
this shirt has been mistakenly left in a random white
Spirits
plastic
be
bag
with you.
for 3 years, damp along with the other garments in that same bag, after the house fire of January 10th, 2015,
honor.
until the morning of April 19th,
Yeah,
2017,
let's go there.
where I rushed it into the washer and
swear we
dryer
have a plan.
after digging the relic out, and it came out just as clean and good as it was
It's gonna be
before
a
the
painful
house fire.
plan, mind you,
I let
because
this
we are
shirt remain
going
damp and torn
to
from its
fucking
history before
Desilee's.
2014, with
And
all
I
the
hate that
tears and
place
holes remaining
with a
in it.
passion.
I feel I owe it to this shirt to personally
It's
restore
pretty
it
painful,
as
but this
best
is
as
also
possible,
one of the possible
especially
places
for
where
in
you
the
get to
events
level
it is
40.
to be work again. It can look
And it
about
means you can
as
get your
good as
mount.
it was before 2004,
Oh, yeah, there are
when
also
my
good
family
memories
and I
there.
bought it. Even if it is sold highly and framed for
Still
prosperity, This one iconic shirt, with all the history in it, will go on looking as good and as clean and
Also,
filled
does
with more love,
the...
heart and soul for myself, personally, as it never happened
where's the
before.
hot base in
I'm still
Desolace?
continuing this shirt repairing project, regardless of what you haters say, for as I see it, being as well
where
restored
is
from a
it?
Beyond
I
Help
don't remember
label
off the
as
top of my
possible,
head.
and by the sole owner
But
and
thank you
author
for
slash
that.
artist of the books.
Oh wait a
The
second,
shirt
it's all
has
the way
been
down
featured
there?
in
Oh
throughout of
fuck
all
me
people.
sideways.
I feel that makes it more
That ain't
valuable.
gonna fucking fun.
I would even autograph it on the inside in permanent ink to really seal the deal. So there. Thank you.
Just
Sincerely with
stop
love.
it.
Christine/Christian/Christopher Weston Chandler.
Just stop it.
Also on that day, Chris held a raffle to announce the winner of her Sanchu figure and other Skylanders related merchandise.
It's May 1st, and as promised, I'm going to decide
Oh, die Argenton actually, jetzt nicht.
winners. I've gone to the eBay sales from between March 26th
That's where we
and
need to go for that quest.
today. There's sorbet. It's become a cat video
So
again.
there's also the
Hello.
Colca of Desolace, which I can finish there.
Alright, so anyway, so we have only 11 possible winners, so
Then
everybody's a
bring that
winner,
along to
but only
Bloodbelly
one
Fish.
can get
Okay.
the whole set of
Nice.
the
That's
Sanchu
probably not
figure
possible, and oh god,
and
that's
my figure.
pretty sure there's some
Alright, so I'm gonna
mountains
pretty
around
much
there.
go down the list, going like similar to a coin flip.
Ooh,
I have
that's
a
gonna be fun.
die and the nice cup,
Okay, so let me
I'm going
tell
to
you
go
how
down
we're
the
gonna
list.
do this.
and
Go in
even
here.
numbers are
I
heads.
think we come from here
So
anyway.
the one
And we
with
go
the
over there,
most
kill
heads
those
after
assholes,
going
then we
down,
go over
after going
here,
down,
take these quests,
and
then we
I'll be
go
skipping
down
over everybody who
here,
gets
finish
tails
those two
throughout
quests, get
each
maybe a few new
round.
ones.
She
There's
uses
any
her methodology
interesting
to
ones?
randomly eliminate
And we
9
try to get to the
contenders.
base. Or well, we make a, a cut down here and then
Alright,
go to the
so
base.
it's down
Bap,
to the
bap.
final two. Big Lady and Stefan, who
Oh.
gets one of which will get everything here. So, because one purchased before the other, the Big Lady will be heads 2, 4, sits, and Stefan will be tails 1, 3, 5. Last die roll. Everybody ready?
Right, literally as ready as I could ever be for this shit.
And the winner is
Which is not saying much.
Stefan! Stefan! You get all these prizes! Yay!
Thanks, no reason to scream though.
Alright, so you will be expecting to receive these, everything, in one big box in about the month of April, May. In about the month of June, because I'm still waiting for the cards and I still gotta order and still gotta get the figures. But you are the big winner! Mr.
Yay!
Stefan! Yay!
I'm sure he's
Thank you and have a
overjoyed.
good evening.
On May 4th,
Over.
Chris officially
Joyed.
declared her classic shirt restored and posted a photo of herself wearing it at the End Games card game shop in Charlottesville. The next day, her half-brother, Cole Smithy, pleaded on Twitter for people to become supporters on his Patreon page to keep his film review and criticism outlets alive. Chris replied, stating that she would pledge, but he had yet to apologize for what he did to their mother. Also on that day, she featured the shirt in a new Captain's Log video.
Yes, I have finished it. As you have seen in all the videos and photographs of which I've uploaded, I've actually gotten local praise for the shirt locally from other people. I hate that haters have to feel like they continue hating.
I mean, if they're haters, that's basically their life essence, isn't it?
At sewing and mending, not everybody has
Like,
even
huh,
a small
haters gonna
skill
hate, eh?
level and instinct. The
Follow
simple,
me surprised.
put needle in a thread and bob it through a piece of fabric. You think it's so simple? You try it. Go ahead, try it for yourself.
It won't.
Anyway,
I tried
as
this
for
in the
the,
past. I'm not really
sale
talented.
of the shirt, I had to cancel that order. So obviously I never received the payment from that lady in Wisconsin, and obviously her son will be quite disappointed. I feel for him as well, but
Surely you do. Sure you do.
she has been belaboring it. I've been more than patient.
How
yeah,
many
by the
people
stamp album and the drawings.
have you made wait
Help me out
for
here,
orders
please. Help
of
me out.
your stuff
That's pretty much the big
for
topic
a
on my
month
mind.
at a time?
Finances is the big stressor in my life.
And you really complain about
If it
people
weren't
being
for
late.
financial problems, if we had a lot more money, if we didn't have the frickin' mortgage and all the credit card debts,
Amazing.
we'd be a lot more better off here at home.
My, color me
Could actually
surprised.
use
You'd be better off
the
without
money
debts. Surprising, isn't it?
You know, just,
Mm-hmm.
well, we do a lot better, but we can't.
Oh, saddening.
Just my life. My life.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, thanks. Been
I guess that's it for
around
right
for quite a
now.
while at this point.
I'll do another Captain's Log video next week, so until then, everyone take care and have a good night.
Yes, I will have a good night.
With the return
I
of the
hope.
classic, Christine tried yet another way to capitalize on her past infamy. However, it proved to yield no financial gain, as the value she believed it had was a product of her perceived worldwide appreciation and fame, thinking she had a loyal fan base of millions.
Yes.
Nevertheless, she would
We
soon
know.
venture down another path, another harkening back to old times, a return to the very thing that placed her in the public spotlight.
Ooh. So once again, Chris has learned nothing. It will come to the same conclusion as before. Basically, you know, little Chris bitching, moaning and crying very, very loudly about all the unfairness in the world. Of course, that Chris has nothing to do with. It's always the other's fault. Or it's autism. Or apparently dementia. Oh, this fucking idiot doesn't understand what dementia is. It's so fucking amazing. Honestly, I'm amazed actually that that particular creature has gotten that bloody old.
What made her
You would assume that this is the prime candidate for, you know, drinking,
What is
I don't
the
know, a whole
attraction?
bottle of bleach just because somebody tells them
What
it's
keeps us
healthy.
fascinated? This is the story of Christian.
There must have been another fucking very, very, well, lucky, quote-unquote, unlucky circumstances involved in that survival. Oh, it's a human. A disgusting little human at that.
On May 8th, 2017, after a 561-day-long hiatus, Christine began drawing new pages for her Sonichu Issue 11 comic book, showcasing her process via a 39-minute-long YouTube video.
Happy. We're level 25. I'm not even
Though
going
she
to
can be
bother.
seen talking at times, her microphone seemed to have been disabled for the recording.
Why you would do that is beyond me.
On May 11th, Chris
Not
wrote on
surprising,
Facebook
though.
that she was a contender for the best local minor celebrity poll listed by Charlottesville's Seaville Weekly newspaper and asked for people to vote for her. At the time of her announcement, she was in third place with 7% of the vote. She also privately messaged her Facebook friends asking them for their vote. The list was one of many polls on the magazine which accepted nominations from anyone online. Christine was also in the running for Best TV Personality and Local Radio Personality.
Yeah,
Among
sure.
the list of best musicians was Christian and the Hedgehog Boys, and the poll for Best Neighborhood featured Quickville. Thanks to many online observers, Chris quickly climbed to the
No one
number
was
one
surprised.
spot in the local minor celebrity category, which was a feat soon repeated in other categories. Christine soon after left an update
Hello
on Facebook
there,
stating that she was to be
little
voted
one.
for
I'm
in the
doing,
local minor
well,
celebrity
some wow,
category only,
you know,
and pleaded for people not to
while
add
trying
her
to
into any
get
other
further
categories
into
with
the
which
whole
she had no involvement. The following day, moderators for the
Chris
polls
nonsense
stepped in
because
to
I want to
remove
finish
anything
it so much.
work-related,
Also, hello there,
though
little strategy,
eventually more
mama.
falsified nominations were added
I'm sure
in
we're gonna get
again
this done.
by Weens. After a while, the Seaville website
nothing if not
reported that
patience
due
with
to
this.
supposed frustrating technical glitches, the nominations had to be started over. Chris blamed
Okay,
trolling
we
stupids
need to
for mass voting her out.
Sneak around,
On May
be
13th,
smart about it,
in
go
response
there,
to an article
do
regarding
some things.
possible surgery, which would make
Then
trans
we go
women
here,
able to carry a child
do a few
through
quests
pregnancy.
there.
Chris expressed her elation at the
We'll get
prospect
shit
of
done
finally
today.
becoming
Well,
a
not really
mother.
because I'm actually
The next day,
pretty time
she wished
limited,
for
but
Happy
meh.
Mother's Day to all mothers who she thought were amazing, especially
Doesn't
Rose Chew
matter,
and
now does
Smola,
it?
sharing a panel from
So
her
about you
Sonichu
people,
comic,
how is
featuring
your
Rose
day?
Chew frantically doing housework.
Come on, little strategy member.
On May 15th, She
Still busy.
live-streamed herself using the photo manipulation and alteration software Photoshop to create a large composite portrait of herself, her parents, and her Sonichu characters.
We have already done the drawings and scanned them into the computer, at which we are going to put these pictures onto the pre-taken photographs for the 11th book. So right now I'll be transferring you live to my laptop. Alright, now I got...
You do know, Chris, you don't actually need to film your monitor or your laptop. You're watching Internet Horror Stories. Kinda, yeah, this is a very long-lasting horror story that never ever ends.
Head shapes.
I mean, how else would you describe Christian's life story, if not a fucking horror story?
Just a little bit.
He'll have the book with zero shit out.
Okay, there we go.
I'm pretty sure he's still owing a massive amount of pages to people, as well as probably merchandise. Oh, I could never treat my job like that. If they actually had a job, you know, doing my dream project, whatever the fuck, and I could make money off of that, I'd be doing at least what normal people do. You know, normal 8 hours a day of work time, for at least 5-6 days a week. Just, you know, because that's kind of how you treat that. Serious?
On the 18th, Christine reported on Twitter that a troll texted her to say that he was from the future. She replied by saying that he should go back because he had forgotten their 2010 to 2020 sports almanac. The next day, after not returning home the night before,
look,
the
kitty.
Chatter's cat, Sorbet, was found by a neighbor, hiding in a gutter in the driveway. The cat was only moved after being sprayed with water from a hose.
Cat was like, I don't want to rejoin. No.
Sorbet was found to have suffered head trauma, and dilation, bruises, and some bleeding. The doctor concluded that he had likely been struck by a car and would stay at the vet over the weekend.
Oh, little kitty.
On the 21st, Chris revealed the cover art for Sonichu issue 12, prominently addressing LGBTQ themes, as the scene was
Why
set
are
during
you
the
working
annual
on 12? I thought we were at 11. What the fuck happened to 11? God damn it,
Chris
Chris.
addressed the addition of the S to the acronym.
Put you once, just once, finish one fucking
Let's talk
thing.
about my idea of adding the S to LGBTQ. Firstly, the S is for straight, or cisgender. Both the straight and cisgender flags are above the S. I feel it's beneficial and good to include the straight/cisgender, as to not leave them feeling left out. I mean, we, the LGBTQ, have our straight allies and supporters, and to figure ourselves as different from them, in a sense, have seeded the idea of our community in us. Regardless, we do welcome them to our Pride festivals and events, but they each may have been feeling singled and left out. Plus,
I mean,
look at the acronym this
no,
way.
not really.
SLGBTQ,
Can't say I feel left out.
We, the LGBT, and
Even if people want to make their own little community thing, I say go ahead. If you want to exclude somebody from that, go ahead. I don't give a shit.
Exploring and figuring themselves out. And the S,
how long has I remained the right to make my own group?
At least, that were here before us.
Sounds
and we still welcome them.
pleasant
At
enough.
least the ones with open hearts. We, the LGBTQ, still strive and work towards equality and freedom like everyone else. Have we totally
I'm pretty sure that is
the
not
same
true
for
for
them?
everyone,
We
though.
are equal to everyone, and we are to remain included.
Much
And
as I had to
least
say it,
return the favor
quite
unto
few.
them. Include their flags and letter in what we already have.
So.
The total salad of a multitude of variants.
I mean,
that
as
makes us
long
all
as
as a
they,
whole
you know,
a damn great salad.
let you be part
Meats
of
and
their
fruits
movement,
included.
why not?
We,
Then again, I do
all
think that
worlds
groups should
together,
also have the right to
the
exclude people if
SLGBTQ.
they want to.
Thank you.
It's in a way also a
On May
personal right.
22nd, Christine
Want to make your own
reported
group
that
and
Sorbet had
then
been brought
sure,
back
you
from the
decide who
vet
goes in,
and
who
shared
comes,
the latest
who
pictures of
not.
him.
Sounds fair
He
enough
was
to me.
feeling better, even though his left pupil
Just
was
you
still
know, I will
dilated.
keep myself the right to
2
make my
days
own
later,
group then.
Chris made an
Do the
update
same
video
thing.
for YouTube.
Because fair is fair. Easy peasy.
Pretty much,
Lemon squeezy.
This video is their plea for money.
Of course, things get a lot more problematic
We're
once you
really
actually, you know,
broke, and my
include
mother
groups like
needs more
politics,
of her meal
politicians,
replacement
making
checks
their own
right
little
now.
groups. Then things become a bit more problematic, because those technically should not be able to exclude people that easily. But well,
Anyway,
we're talking
but
about private
obviously,
things,
as y'all
basically.
have, may have noticed,
Let's ignore
on
that.
Facebook,
Kill that thing.
I have been, I have made, completed a bunch of
I can already feel the pain
Book 11.
coming from these things again. They hurt a lot, comparatively speaking.
Here, screen cap that. Ugh, kaput dicks. The internet trolls.
What next?
Kaput
Wait.
dicks.
Look at Chris trying to be smart.
But anyway, yes.
Failing horrible
my
at it.
mother and I, we need a lot more money, please. So
Yes,
please
we
donate
know.
to the link below.
How often have you
No
told
less
people that
than
you need
$1.
money? Why do you never seem to
No
save any of the
change.
money?
We
Why
want
don't you ever
dollar
pay your
amounts.
fucking debts? Really gets the
Definitely
ball fucking
for each
hell.
person the recommended amount, but the link is
It's not that fucking hard. First things first, you collect some money. At the first step, you get some money. Fucking finally, yay! Now pay part of your fucking debts. Because otherwise you're gonna forever pay the fucking interest on that, you mongoloids. Just don't buy fucking toys every single time. You could be fucking debt-free at this point, potentially, if you just fucking stop doing that. Why is this person allowed to manage their own money? For fuck's sake. That's clearly and obviously not a person capable of doing that. I mean, look at him. Jesus fucking Christ.
Jess. Please, please,
Just don't get
please.
in debt. I'm just there on
We
vacation.
need the money for more food.
There was that one scene, you know, where the Barbara had pawned off one of her necklaces. One of the more pricey ones, a gold necklace or something, I don't fucking remember. I was like, okay, why the fuck did you have that? If you're short of money, why did you still have some fucking jewelry lying around that could be easily turned into money anytime? If you are bitching about needing money. I mean, sure, it's not liquid money, but you had money lying around, so you're lying to us. You don't actually need money. You have it lying around, you just don't want to go through the fucking trouble of getting rid of it. Fuck's sake. Then he starts begging for money, then he gets money, and the first thing he does is buying a new necklace for his mom. And I'm sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? Use the money on your debt, you fucking idiots. And that's actually a failure on both of their parts. Because if I were his mother, I'd be like, no, sonny boy. We ain't gonna go and buy a fucking necklace. We gonna pay debts now. Because we don't want to pay fucking interest for the rest of our fucking lives now, do we? But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just the only one person in the room who's sitting there like going like, you know, maybe paying debts for eternity is not such a pleasant idea. I mean, I can understand if you have a long-lasting debt for example, buying yourself a home or something. Okay, if you pay that for 30 years, I can get behind that idea. But that's a huge investment you're doing, but Jesus fucking Christ, in that case it's not even that. Quite literally overspending their credit cards and are not capable of paying them back on time. Stuff like that. It's... oh, gets me really annoyed.
Another week and a half to go. Oh, God. And sorbet. And the vet bill was $160.
I wanted to say 150. You corrected yourself. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
but
sure you're
please
lying
help
again
us.
out of your fucking ass.
Thank you.
That's also the problem, you know. Chris has proven over and over again that he is quite literally lying out of his ass often enough. Even when he gets called out on it, he just continues with his lie.
I
So
said
it's really
nothing
hard to
under
believe.
$1 in donations. No donations less than $1.
That's not for you to
We need
decide.
the
That's not how
money.
donations work,
Tell
you
Mom.
absolute asshole.
We
If people
need
want to
the
give
money.
you a fucking cent because they don't have more, be grateful if you can't. Fucking
And
cuntish.
you've been needing a lot of...
Life, energy, rest.
I told him that I reminded him that you need a lot of these shakes. Yeah. Anyway, tell
What a
them,
royal pain
no
in the ass.
donations less than
See,
$1.
it's just...
No donations
So you-
less than $1.
well, you're nice and organized, you know. Maybe somewhat somber when it comes to money, German. Seeing a situation like this is just... it's a horror.
Christine's behavior towards Barbara had been considered elder abuse and made
Really,
their feelings
really
publicly
horror.
known to her. Chris deleted the video soon after, but it was downloaded by Christorians and re-uploaded onto YouTube.
Is anyone surprised?
On May 29th,
I'm not surprised. I'm
Christine
sitting here
offered
like,
a
yeah,
video
what
update
were you
on her
expecting?
cat, Sorbet.
Okay, Kitty's back. How are you doing, Kitty? Aww. Yep.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, bless you indeed, little kitty.
That might be cute, though.
Oh, look at the eye, though.
Oh,
Jesus, kitty. You're not looking good.
Alright, I'll let you go then.
Might make me sad. Innocent little kitty.
On the final day of May, Chris posted a work of fan art of a fictitious cover for Sonichu issue 13, set
That
to be a
really doesn't look good
crossover
though.
of Sonichu
That's
characters
probably
and
blind.
characters from the Planet Dolan conglomerate of YouTube channels. Also on that day, she notified her followers
Oh, well,
that she
on the
was
way to
planning on
blindness at the
posting
very
the
least, I'd
Sonichu
imagine.
pages on Patreon, made available only to paying patrons, and would only make them available to the public once the comic book was completed.
Poor
Chris
kitty.
proceeded to upload freshly finished pages of issue 11.
I mean, you
on
know, if we
Patreon.
get in the
One of
news,
the paying
nice
patrons
article
was
saying
in
like,
fact
well,
a spy
Chris
from QE
Chandler found
Farms,
that, I'd
who
be
then
like,
made
okay, yeah, I
pages
kind of figured he
public.
would end up that way at some
She
point.
posted a drawing of herself in her pony persona
At this
form,
moment in time, I can quite
Nightstar.
literally say that I feel a
2
lot
days
worse
later,
about the
she
poor little
asked
kitty
on
than
Facebook if
Chris.
people would be interested in
Might sound a
seeing
bit
her
heartless,
binders
but that's
of
at least an
original
honest
drawings of
statement.
the comic books. She determined to show them off if her post received 1,000 positive reactions. On June 7th, she offered a video update concerning the progress of her comic book.
Currently the
Chris, always
previews
the little
are
joker.
been covered up to page 61. We're up to
But then you
about
realize
page
he's not joking.
65 or
It
6
means
right
that
now
quite
in the book.
literal.
And
Quite literal.
yes, I finally got my own complete collection of my own books, printed well by my publisher, and also
Now
through
we ask the interesting
Patreon. This will pretty
question.
much be
How
the
much did
only
you
way
pay for that
at the
printing?
moment to get
How much are you gonna
copies
earn off of that?
of my book,
Hmm.
including those beyond book 4.
In case of Patreon, where you already have collected the money for the
That's
books,
right. All right.
have you
Let me see
put
what
the
I was
money
thinking,
aside in order to
thinking.
actually handle the shipping now, without making an outright loss?
My big Sonichu
not.
binders.
Who am I kidding?
3 of them now, counting the one with all the
Who am I
cards
kidding?
and my own pugs. Anyway, that's a whole lot of crazy artwork. Actually, there's a 4th book, but that'll be a separate volume because that is X-rated. Anyway, volumes of my art book, art binder, art books, illustrations. Yeah, let me see what
Not
else.
too interested, honestly.
Anything else? Anything else?
They'd already mentioned that you could write a script
I'm still
before you
thinking-
actually record a
thinking of
video.
processing and possibly further
Probably I did.
developments.
Yeah, I'm suffering from
actual-
dementia at this point.
And trying to keep the haters out of the loop about that.
Oh, that's gonna work
So
splendidly.
there. It's all good. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Okay.
On June
That's a
11th,
very
Christine
bright
apologized on
effect.
Facebook for failing to reply to many business inquiries and fan questions, stating that she needed a team of representatives to keep up with all incoming queries. She then sent out
You
the
will
message that
really,
if
really not
fans
get
were
that
capable
much in the
and
way of
willing to
fan
make
mail.
better
That
Sonichu
you need a
fan
fucking
art,
team
fan
to deal with
fiction,
that,
or
honestly.
games, she would allow them to do so freely and would consider it as official Sonichu merchandise. She gave guidelines for the stories that creators should follow, such as adhering to the characters she created and maintaining content fit for a 7-year-old. She apologized for expressing hate for past
Best
fan
part
art and once
about
again
any
supported the idea of
franchise
Sonichu
that
Media
has ever
before she
existed,
could make it
any
official
character that was
herself.
ever created, is the simple fact that
On
you
June 12th,
take the
Chris
internet,
appeared at a remembrance ceremony held at the
suddenly there's
University
porn
of
of it.
Virginia
It's
in
actually
honor
one of the parts I
people
find the
who
most
died
amusing
at the
about
Pulse
humanity.
nightclub shooting in
Telling people to
Orlando,
not do that
Florida.
is
She brought
honestly
with her
not
Sonichu
good.
medallion, a drawing showing solidarity for the SLGBTQ community.
Also, you know, the simple fact that you
Photoshopped
can
family
actually
photograph of the Chandlers and her characters set in a photo
reach
frame
quite
and a
far
handwritten poetic
with your
letter
product
and
through
drawing,
fucking porn
which she
nowadays
recited
is
in
actually
front
kinda
of the
amazing, isn't it?
attendees. The local NBC News station was at the event.
Like if I ever
and
create a
featured
fucking
Christine
character,
expressing her
somebody makes
opinions.
porn of it, I'd be like,
The
yes,
University of Virginia community is
yes,
also honoring
very
the
good,
victims of that mass
continue.
shooting from 1 year ago.
More?
New tonight, the student body at
Why
UVA
wouldn't I?
hosted a memorial service to honor
Why
the
the
49
fuck wouldn't
victims
I?
who lost their lives at the nightclub.
That'd be
in Orlando,
amazing.
Florida.
That'd be fan
This all
art.
unfolded on
That'd be
the steps of
fucking
the
bloody hell
rotunda along
amazing.
University
I'd be happy.
Avenue. The 2-hour-long event included an opportunity
Far
for
too
people to
happy
create art and
to
share their
moan about
tributes.
it. I mean,
Do
remember how
not
Chris
hate.
reacts when he gets
It was
fucking
not
fan
so
art?
good.
He's like,
And to be
yeah,
paranoid
thanks,
is
you
a
could have done
bust.
better. There's some details I don't
Feel
like. It's
love
like,
that
bitch, please,
comes from
stop
us,
it.
and try to feel love that you can offer, at least from within yourselves, for yourselves.
People also read the names of those killed out loud during the ceremony. The event helped to promote equality and diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Later that day, Chris live-streamed herself reciting.
Just saying there, descendant of mine. She wished what any vision of your anything pornography connected to it. I mean, yes, probably there will be humanity in a nutshell. If it is, and if it's not completely, no, even if it is actually completely unsuitable for pornographic content, someone will create porn out of it.
I feel for y'all.
I think that's a very nice expression, just how much our desires and our creativity are bound together, interestingly enough.
Where we are meant to be. Where do we belong in our local communities? With minds gone blank, like a fully erased
Pretty much.
paper,
There are only very
we are
few,
left
very
with the
bleak and very
remnants of
dead
what we had
futures
thought of
where,
before
you know,
impulsively lost in time. I, too, was there during
something
the time
exists
y'all
and
were
there's not
bullied,
one of it.
broken, and beat up bad.
Yeah.
The
I
times
really,
we've
really,
sought
really must
for
I
new
say though,
friendships
I
to
really
later
hate
maybe
Chris's
find truest
attitude
love
towards
from one within.
quote-unquote
Soon
fans.
enough, we not only have found ourselves, but we three,
Seems
child, teen, and
so
adults, combined,
fucking ungrateful.
worked out our ideas, taking our
It's
time.
amazing.
We continue onward in our life, from how we were born, towards who we are
How
meant to
anybody
be
is
this
still
whole lifetime.
following him,
I will continue
I
onward, the stronger
don't
soul,
understand.
woman that we are. For being boy was a lingering downfall. Someday, I will find our destined sweetheart and truest love, while feeling the love from within.
Okay, so from I
child,
apologize to all men
teen,
to the point of,
from me.
yeah, boys are evil.
Upon
Yeah.
realizing that
So
she
we
failed
have
to
learned
record
nothing.
audio, Chris deleted it from her YouTube account. On June 14th,
How do you manage
she
so
made a
often
video
to forget
addressing
your
the issue
sound?
of some of her
Me, don't get me wrong, I
patrons'
sometimes
on
forget to
YouTube pages
unmute
to the
the
public.
game sound or something. Happens. I don't think I've ever managed to forget to unmute myself.
Apparently, those who have made the contribution.
Jesus, I mean once, okay, twice maybe, but by the third time you should write yourself a note and stick it on your fucking camera. Or like, please check if sound is working.
The internet.
So you can remind yourself like, ah yes, I need to check that that is actually working.
Okay, that's not cool. That's
mean,
like
come on.
movie pirating. You don't steal a woman's purse. You don't steal anybody's cell phone. So,
Pretty sure people steal
steal
shit
pages.
like that.
all right, be legit. Be
Yeah,
honest, be
I'm
loyal.
pretty sure there are people who do that,
believe
Chris. The world
in
is not just
kindness
nice.
of people.
People steal shit. You kinda have to assume, so yes.
This 11 is ready. I'd send copies out to every Patreon that has been paying. And so on with
Yes, and you will make a
12,
net negative
13,
on that
14,
shipment,
so on
won't
and so
you?
forth.
Because you've already spent all of the Patreon money you got on other things anyway, and you have not even considered the idea of saving some money for the two expected shipping costs,
Everybody,
let alone the printing
safe
costs.
day.
I'm almost sure of that.
2 days later, Chris posted a short video featuring her mother, Barbara.
Begging for money again?
We are in need
Hmm?
of donations
Mm-hmm. See?
for food.
You could, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing
Please,
one very nice gold necklace there. You could probably sell that for some money. Not an expert,
consider
but
us.
maybe 150, 200 bucks, depending on, you know, where you go,
Thank you.
how lucky you are.
On June 20th, Christine shared a year-old Facebook post of
Just
her
saying,
wishing
you
her
know.
father a happy Father's Day, adding that she still missed him every day. Later on, she wrote a lengthy post regarding the ages of her characters.
I mean, quite, it's
Simply
not
put,
really
it is inconsistent
high
cartoon
fucking
logic.
rocket
Around the
science
time I
to
specified
make
main
the
eight's
following
ages in
equation.
Book 8,
I am
under a
hungry,
lot
I
of
need
unwarranted
food.
questions
Food
about the
costs
bloody
money,
age
I
in
don't
relation
have
to
money,
content
but I
/
have
miscontent
jewelry.
of
I
what
can
drew
sell
and
jewelry,
wrote
then I get
beforehand.
money. Since money equals
I was
food,
still
and I
testing
need
the
food
waters
because
of
I'm
story
hungry.
typings,
Wow,
parodies,
the
what
science.
works / doesn't work.
There's you in the
It
face.
is very common amongst the beginning book authors, even in televised cartoons and video games. I dare put unto you all, Ash Ketchum is still 10 years old, Sonic the Hedgehog is still
so what?
16 years old, and Stewie Griffin is still 1 year old.
So
while during
what?
the Family Guy series, Megan has gone from 16 to 18 years old. Twilight Sparkle and the main 6 are teens to adults, while Celestia and Luna are like 1,000 years
We're
old.
talking about fucking
Even
ponies,
X-Ray
aren't we?
9,
I'm pretty
Jenny,
sure
while built
at
up
this
years
point
prior,
age
her mindset
and
is
aging is
teenager.
not a
Sigh
fucking
and groan.
point.
I feel the best way to answer this annoying question to everyone is to not think or overthink about it. We, the artists, creators,
that a sign
and
of
writers,
interest, though?
specify an age to our character, at least I feel, when it can be deemed warranted. we do not have to consistently celebrate birthdays or let our characters age canonically.
Always has
or
such a
not
negative
in our works.
interpretation, it's amazing.
The obvious, simple, not to overthink, straight up answer from all of us creators is just take the characters' age, as we have given
I mean, to
them
be fair, there's that
respectively.
choice,
And in
but
my
honestly,
case,
it
the main
gives that
8
whole
are more
begging
than 20
thing a
years
lot.
old. May as well be over 21 now. Sarah, Christine, and Roberta
Let's
are
just say a very
teenagers,
bad
close
taste in
to
my
equal
mouth.
17
Because we
years
know
old.
that they technically
Sandy
speaking
and
still
Sophia
have
Rose
money
Jews are in
around
the
that
fourth
they
grade,
could
despite
use.
Sandy
But
being
instead
less
of
than a
doing
year
that, they
old
actually
physically,
humiliate
but
themselves
mentally
by going in
equivalent to
front
the
of,
typical fourth grader age.
in some
Once
cases,
again,
apparently hundreds
take
of people,
each
100
character's
to 100
age and provided
viewers,
value,
Jesus fucking
unless we
Christ,
later say
and
different.
begging for fucking
Shut the
donations.
fuck up. Ugh.
It's... Honestly, that's pretty damn disgusting, the way I see it.
Uploaded the final pages of Sonichu issue 11 on her Patreon.
I mean, if I would be really, really
officially
down
completing the comic
in the
8 years
gutter,
after its
really had no
inception.
option, sure, yes, before I
The
start
comic
I will
begins
back,
with the Sonichu
because, you know,
Christmas
starting is not
special
really an option I
episode
would
set
consider.
in December 2008.
But a lot of things
The
have to happen
Sonichu
before that
family's
becomes a
home,
thing
little Christine,
for me.
the Rosie,
Like
prepares
the whole
for her
system
elementary
failing.
school theatrical
For example,
performance of the
my
nativity
parents being
scene,
dead,
while Rosie
everything
and her daughter
else
Sarah
not being
make
able.
cookies.
The fucking
In the
apocalypse
rec
would probably have to happen
Sonichu
first.
and his son, Robbie, hang stockings by the fireplace. In the
Should
kitchen,
get the idea.
Sarah thanks her mother for letting some of her friends come over
first
for the
beef before
Christmas
that
party,
sense. Yeah.
and shows her that she made one cookie in the shape of a candle for her friend Kevin, because he
Happens.
is Jewish. Sarah also
If I
made it
come down to
vanilla
the point
flavor
where I
to keep the
really have
ingredients
nothing
neutral to avoid an
left, and
allergic
as I said, you know,
reaction
maybe
from
the
other flavors.
apocalypse that would be happening, but
Preparation for an
apart from
incoming
that,
snowstorm, Sonichu
with that part
goes
I don't
out
think
to
I
buy
could
groceries
beg
and extra
much.
supplies, while
At least not
Christine
for
recites
money.
Mary's song from the Gospel according to Luke 146.5 to 55 in
Okay,
preparation for her play.
chief displays.
The next day, it is announced that Ann Weston Elementary School would be closed on the count of the storm, so the children would stay home.
I mean,
for
you
the
know, as
time
much
being.
as, for example, I like my
Sonichu
game
then
collection
goes
and
out
my
to
game
work through
console
the
collection,
chimney
if I
because the
were
doors of the
close to
house are
starving,
blocked
I'd
with
sell
snow.
those within a
He then uses
heartbeat.
his powers of super speed
Not
to
even a
clear the
question there.
surroundings of snow. Over the coming days,
But part of the reasoning
Robbie
why I
plays
am
games
planning
with the
ahead
Nintendo Wii
so
and
much and why I'm
watches
so
Christmas
careful with what
cartoons.
little money I
Sarah
have is the part that I
continues to
really
rehearse
don't
her
want to
lines
do
for her
that,
school
because I really
performance,
like my little
and their
collection.
mother, Rose Chew,
Very nostalgic
frantically
about
cleans
it.
the house. One day during a playdate
Just
at the
how
boy
I am.
Kevin's house,
Just
Sarah
how I
plays
am,
the
I
combat
suppose.
video game Call of Duty World at War with him. She becomes too embroiled in the action and in a reckless move causes Kevin's character to die, which upsets him. Sarah tells him to not get so attached to a set of digital pixels, but he states
advice,
that
actually.
he spent over a whole month leveling up and learning the Tredden, preparing for his first
Yeah, that's
war
actually
game,
probably
only
a good
to be
quest
quickly
to pick
killed
up.
by Sarah's arrogant actions. To comfort him, she offers him the cookie she baked in the shape of a candle. Kevin looks at the candle's flame and is reminded of the explosion which killed him. He slaps it out of her hand and smashes it to pieces against the TV.
Another quest there.
He runs upstairs crying, while Sarah realizes that she has hurt him and decides it best to leave. Later in Sarah's room, she has a telepathic conversation
Ouch.
with Magi-chan, who comforts her, but lets her know that she and Kevin will most likely not retain their fondness for each other, and tells her that she should do something to make up for her actions.
I mean,
2 days
yes,
later,
starting
while
with
out
an
shopping,
apology would probably be
Sonichu
good.
and Robbie come across a crying woman who tells them that she lost her job and was then evicted because she could not pay rent. Robbie bursts out that her story was distressing and would also feel the same way if that happened to him. Sonichu apologizes for his son, clarifying that he is very caring and empathetic. They call for a taxi for her that
Oh,
will bring
great.
her to a nearby soup hotel where she could stay. Meanwhile, while Blake and Bubbles are out together,
It's
Enos,
gonna be
the
a
homeless
pain in my
Jamaican
ass.
drug addict, wishes Blake a happy Kwanzaa. He is angered by once again being mistaken for an African American. Bubbles calms him down. The book then flashes back to August, referring to the time when Simone LaRoche was presumed to have died from an explosion
But gee,
conducted by the
I'm undead,
Asperpedia
but I still
Moar.
need to breathe,
The
apparently.
doctors at the time are amazed to see that
Disgusting.
she is coming back to life. Later, doctors find that her skeletal structure is made of cementanium, an incredibly strong metal, which also runs in her blood and organs.
Very creative
meaning that
naming,
she can
again,
regenerate
but
her
yeah,
own
sure.
organs and bones. She is instructed to spend more time resting and recovering. On December 15th, she is discharged from hospital and is reunited with her husband, Wild Sonichu, and their daughter, Sandy. Meanwhile, in the mountains, Magi-chan and Sylvana Rosechew express their love for each other and acknowledge that Sylvana's former father figure, Count Graduan, would eventually return, but she has been learning to break free from his teachings. They then kiss and express their intentions to fornicate. Later that same night,
that's a very nice way of
during
saying
the
it.
school nativity play, Christine feels something
They turn
happen
loving
to
to each
her
other and
and
like,
rushes
motherfucker,
backstage.
yep.
Sonichu and Roastu take note and get ready to come to her aid when Christine text messages Roastu, telling her that she is evolving into her final form and that she needs new clothes. Roastu instructs Sonichu to run home and bring their daughter a change of clothes. 1 minute later, Roastu and her 2 other children come to Christine's dressing room. Christine tells her family that she evolved and had a huge growth spurt, which caused her clothes to be ripped apart. Roastu tells her to keep a happy thought and sing something.
Keep a happy thought.
Mother and
Your
daughter
clothing might be
then
ruined,
sing,
but keep a
"I'm
happy
Not
thought.
Girl,
She might be
Not
naked,
Yet a
but
Woman"
it could
by
be
Britney
worse.
Spears together on either side of the door.
Like, okay, how?
Sonichu then comes back with new clothes. Christine changes into her new outfit and comes
Because I
out
hate
on
being
stage
underwater.
just in time
Means
to
I can't
sing
just
her
sit
song
down and heal
with
myself.
confidence. As her parents admire her performance, Sarah and Kevin discuss what happened at their playdate. She apologizes for blowing up his in-game character and offers him 3 cookies she baked in the shape of dreidels. Kevin explains that he learned to appreciate teamwork and that her aggressive and rash actions made him dislike her. He thanks her for being his friend and playmate and hopes that she can grow up and mature more. Sarah cries.
Nice way of saying it. Very adult. And also not how you treat that.
And drive back home. On
It's
Christmas
looking like,
Day,
yeah.
all the Sonichus gather around
GG,
the
go
Christmas
fuck
tree
yourself.
in the Quickville shopping center to exchange gifts
Books
and
will
embrace
that's
each
it.
other romantically. Simona remarks that she hasn't seen Christian lately and asks about him. Roastu tells her that since he came back from the future, he, or rather she, has been adjusting from the future shock. Roastu goes on to explain in depth how in 2014, Christian realized that his soul was female and so changed her pronouns, her name, and began the process of physical transformation as well.
Yeah, I'm still
also
somewhat
while
doubtful
continuing
about
to
that,
be
honestly.
attracted to women.
Mostly because, you know,
After their
Chris
past,
is a
Christian
notorious
returned from
liar.
2015. He
And
started
somebody
to
who
readjust,
really likes
and
to
by
blame
October,
everything
had
apart from
finally
himself.
realized her true self.
It kind of feels like a
Sonichu
bit like
adds
he's
that
saying
the
like,
news blew him
yes,
away
why
too,
am I, a
and
strapping
has come to
young
regret
man,
his
straight,
past
mind
ill
you,
words against the
not
gays.
getting any
He says
bitches?
he was
And
mostly
he was like, oh
upset
yeah,
with trolls
that's not
and
my
bullies
fault, or
for
my
the
creepiness is
mislabelings of
fault,
him
or, you
and
know, me
Chris,
acting like a
and
complete
acknowledged
asshole.
that he has no ill will towards the gays.
It
and that
must
there
be
was nothing
because,
wrong
you
with
know,
what they
I was
did,
actually,
though he never
I
felt
actually
any
have a
interest in their
female
actions.
soul inside.
With
That's
Christine
where all my
becoming
trouble stems
part of
from.
the LGBTQ communities,
Really
Sonichu
sounds like
and
he's just
Roastu
looking
have
for
learned
another
to be more
excuse to
accepting
explain
and
why he's so
supportive, and
fucking
even hired
unpopular.
their next-door lesbian
From
neighbor
his
to
own
be their babysitter, solely on the basis
Okay.
of her work credentials.
Yeah, that was...
All the Sonichus and
That was a thing,
Roastus
wasn't
agreed
it?
to go to Christine's house to cheer her up, since she had been in seclusion, mentally recovering. The next panels show photos of Christine
character.
playing herself, incorporated into the comics. The
that
Sonichus welcome
necessary?
her back and state that they have missed her. Blake approaches Chris and compliments
Thanks,
her
Kane.
bust. She thanks him, but states that she was not interested in any of his advances. Blake clarifies that he was quite
California Pound
surprised
Creations
by
went
her
up to me and went
appearance.
like, heh, nice
They
tits.
then all
I'd be like,
pose for a photo, featuring all the main
thanks.
Sonichu characters, her parents Barbara and Bob,
Because, you
and her
know,
Transformer
what else am I
car,
supposed to say?
Sonichu.
I mean, I
The
would probably
scene
hit him in
then
the
switches
face.
to December 17th, 2008,
You
at
and
a dig
drugs.
site in Virginia, where Simonchu is digging
Yeah, that is
underground
probably more
looking for
accurate
fossils,
reaction.
while repeatedly getting blown up by Voltorbs, a type of Pokemon. The readers are then
And
reminded
it's really
that in
difficult, you know.
August, he
Whenever
had
it comes
aided
to
in the
Chris,
killing
I
of
really
Simona,
don't take him
his
at his
sister.
word, or what he
Meanwhile,
tries to convince
Simonchu
me of
receives
any
an
longer,
email from
because
his
he is
sister,
lying
writing
so
that she had
fucking
made
often
a
about
full
pretty much
recovery,
everything.
and that he was welcome to visit
It's,
anytime. He decides to
yeah.
head on over.
It's, you know,
The scene
just in
once
this
again
one episode,
flashes
let's
back.
take a short break, it was like, it's the autism's fault, and then it was like, no, it's all dementia, and it's just everything's fault, just not Chris, because he doesn't take responsibility even once for his actions. So it's kind of like, you know, when he suddenly starts like, oh yeah, it must be because I'm actually a woman, I'm sitting here like, maybe if somebody else would tell me that, I'd be like, okay. Not too sure about that whole soul thing, but if that's what you want to believe in, fine, that's your thing. Fair enough. But if Chris starts telling me that, the first thing I'm suspecting is another lie to get bitches. I'm sorry to say so. But it really showcases what these last 50 plus episodes have done to my mind when it comes to Chris. Maybe. Honestly, that's the problem. I mean, we still have we don't have the full picture, because you can only ever look people, you know, in the eyes. You can't look in their heads. And honestly, I would, even if I could, I wouldn't want to look into fucking Chris's head, to be fair. But yeah, he really makes it difficult to believe anything he tries to convince you of, because he's just fucking lying and lying and lying and blaming everything apart from, you know, himself. Like, he blames his fucking mother for being, you know, dressed for him. Like, bitch, please. On one hand, you blame your brother for being cold-hearted and not caring about his mother. On the other side, you are sitting there posting all for the internet to see how much it annoys you that your mother comes and asks you for money. Like, what the fuck, Chris? Stuff like that. That gets to me at some point. What can I say? Which is, you know, a nice way of saying that I have a very, 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 very negative understanding of Chris these days. Oh, has we jumped around again? Yes, you have.
Pressing, and would also feel the same way if that happened. Magi-chan and Sylvana roast
in forward a bit.
And offers the Sonichus and Roast-Chews agreed to go to Christine's house to cheer her up since she had been in seclusion, mentally recovering. The next panels show photos of Christine playing herself, incorporated into the comics. The Sonichus welcome her back and state that they have missed her. Blake approaches Chris and compliments her bust. She thanks him, but states that she was not interested in any of his advances. Blake clarifies that he was quite surprised by her appearance. They then all pose for a photo, featuring all the main Sonichu characters, her parents Barbara and Bob, and her transformer car, Sonchu. The scene then switches to December 17th, 2008, at a dig site in Virginia, where Simonchu is digging underground looking for fossils while repeatedly getting blown up by Voltorbs, a type of Pokemon. The readers are then reminded that in August, he had aided in the killing of Simonla, his sister. Meanwhile, Simonchu receives an email from his sister writing that she had made a full recovery and that he was welcome to visit any time. He decides to head on over.
Yeah, let's kill that one and then we're gonna sit down to eat something.
Issue 10, wherein the Asperpedia 4 are condemned to live the rest of their lives in the Amish community, devoid of modern technology.
I mean, to be fair, since we can see some of the excesses of said technology, that life, while not attractive to me, I can see the appeal for some people to go away from technology. I'd be kinda getting bored without the internet. I mean, I'm not one of those who runs out of the bloody phone all the time. Actually, I forget that thing more often than not. The internet is rather a practical thing to have around. And also, how am I gonna stream on the internet? That'd be a bit difficult.
She explains to her family that her brother was a victim of circumstance and forgives him for what he did. And she expects her husband and daughter to forgive him as well.
We have to
family reunion dinner, Simonchu explains how he was captured by Evan Christopher George and trained to carry out his and his cohort's evil deeds. He then reflects how after he was released, he took an interest to geology and collecting fossils. Sandy offers to bring the mystery fossil her uncle brought with him to the Quickville Museum. Christine Chandler interjects as the narrator to apologize for failing to title the episode beforehand. She also adds that the story is derived from a script given her by her Facebook friend
bloody
and
annoying
financial
quickly, don't
contributor William Elliott Waterman, but she had taken some liberties with the story and altered it to add more details. Episode 23, Simonchu and Banana Funkle, formally begins in Quickville Museum, where Simonchu and his niece submit the unknown fossil sample for research to a yet-to-be-introduced Blue Roast-Chew, whom Simonchu fancies. 15 minutes later, the researcher comes back to tell them that the fossil is a newly discovered Pokemon, which had been revived and then given back to them within a Pokeball. It was dubbed Bananasaur. Simonchu opens the Pokeball to release the small green dinosaur-like Pokemon, which could only speak gibberish. From far away, Punchy Sonichu could hear and comprehend the Bananasaur's thoughts and rushes to meet him and his keepers in the museum. The Pokemon and Punchy communicate with each other telepathically and bond over their shared love of the rock band AC/DC. At Simonchu's request, Punchy agrees to take care of him since he seems to be the only one able to understand him. He feeds the Bananasaur a strawberry-flavored Pocky, and then it suddenly evolves into its next evolutionary stage, a larger, yellow, banana-shaped creature called Bananasauros. Punchy brings him home
I kind of saw that banana scene coming up there, just going off the name, and expected as much.
She then calls Punchy over to the kitchen to discuss the uninvited guest privately, angered by his sudden appearance, as she is not ready to accommodate him. She begrudgingly accepts to try to cope with the banana Sauros, but claims she will leave him if it becomes too much to bear. Punchy and his Pokemon then bond over some video games.
Oh, isn't
Later,
that nice?
at the daycare center, Punchy
There's a
encourages
banana.
the banana Sauros to mate with the Pokemon.
Yeah, I was
which
not
then
expecting Chris to
shapeshifts
create
to appear like a
anything
banana
original
Sauros,
at any
about an
point,
hour
so
after ferocious
yeah.
intercourse.
I'm pretty sure
Ditto
it's based
these
off of
two
things.
On another day, the two practice fighting at Nabe's Dojoshin, but Banana Sauros keeps
another
getting
key.
bested by Punchy. He then whips out a skateboard, and they have one
That's where the
final match,
scepter of light
which results
is.
in both of them needing to be hospitalized. On December 22nd,
That's smart.
they come back home to find that Layla had packed her suitcase and is ready to move out. She says that she had unfriended him on Facebook and never wants
How
to see him
horrible.
again. Punchy accepts her words as she
It feels
punches
that this
Banana
is
Sauros in the face on her way
some
out,
PlayStation
calling
6
him
comics.
bruised and unfruitful. Christine interjects once
You're
again.
bruised
to
and
inform
moldy and
viewers
unfruitful.
the time was short to complete
Everybody else
the
is looking at
episode,
like, what
so
the
she
fuck are you
offers a
talking
brief
about?
summary of what happens next. Layla goes to stay with a temporary caregiving
let me just
trainer,
quickly
William
take a
Faulkner,
look.
as the Banana Sauros gets too comfortable living in Punchy's house,
the
playing video
question
games
is-
all day and not cleaning up after
Yeah, we
himself.
don't really have to
Luckily
finish
for
this
Punchy,
immediately.
the banana Pokemon
We're kinda running
is
out of
given
time and I
the
kinda
job
wanna get
of
the
cleaning
fly
and
point.
maintaining the dojo.
We're gonna
Then,
do this a bit
Magichan
differently.
interrupts the narrative to inform the reader that he had been busy collecting Sonichites and Rosechites, a newly
It's 7
introduced
and up.
item based on the
Don't
Mega
don't
Stones from
fanfic.
Pokemon, which could temporarily induce evolutions of the electric hedgehog
Did
Pokemon
yeah,
into their
I
mega
do remember
forms.
him talking about
Also, a spot of havoc was
fanfics
averted
needing
at
to
the
be
SLGBTQ Pride Festival
basically
in
age
2009.
7.
In the behind-the-scenes prologue
Yes,
of
and you
the
know,
next
for children,
episode, Sylvana
suitable
Rosechew
for
is receiving
children.
a spa treatment. As she finishes, a stagehand informs her that she has 60 seconds before the film crew starts filming, as if the episode were to be recorded like a
That coming
TV
from the
show.
guy who drew
She then
actual
transforms
fucking
into the
porn
guest
of
star
actual
of the
fucking
episode,
people, mind
Sonic
you,
the Hedgehog,
and his
whom she will
characters.
be playing throughout episode 24, part 1, The Clip Show.
Yep.
On August 21st, 2009, Sonic meets Sonichu and Rosechu at Quickville Shopping Center.
Chris in a
Sonichu and
nutshell.
Sonic reminisce
Very
about
interesting
recent
creature.
happenings. Sonichu recounts an account of bullying.
I mean, are you
experienced by
really
his children
surprised that
Robbie
Chris
and
would not
Sarah,
take the
and then their
own
fight
ruling
against
he
the
puts
jerk-off?
out to himself
Sarah
and go
then
like,
suddenly
okay, I'm gonna
evolved
go
and grew in
ahead,
size,
lead by
vowing
example.
not to wear skirts or overly feminine
I mean,
attire,
come on.
preferring to wear jeans and a t-shirt. Sonichu adds that
How long have we been
after
watching
that
this
event,
shit at this point?
Robbie came out as a lesbian soul and then evolved into Roberta.
All animals are
having
equal,
fully
but some animals are more
transformed her
equal than
body into
others.
that of a female,
Basically,
and
yeah.
has never felt happier or more confident. Christine Chandler then surprises both Sonic
Also the fact that
and
Chris
Sonic
considers
to
himself
convince Sonic
to
that
be
she
in
was
the right
indeed the same
all the
person
time.
who created
All
Sonichu.
the fucking
She
time.
transforms into
Yes,
her
that is
Christian
indeed a
Sonichu
very good
form.
read.
She explains to Sonic that this
I
happened
think I
after
started
Chris
that book a
returned
few
from his
times and I
trip
never
in
finished it. I have it lying
2015
around, but
and had Slowly
I don't know.
Ryan
It's a bit
arrested.
with some games I have.
While still in this colossal
I
Christian
have games I
form,
have never
he
played.
ponders that he
You know,
indeed
in
felt
in
more
physical
feminine
form, I
in
mean.
his high school years,
Basically,
and finally comes to terms that his
sitting
soul
around, or
was
where I,
female.
you know,
He then
inserted them,
transforms
started
into the
them,
female
and then
form of
just
colossal Christian.
kinda got out of it
After
because
briefly
shit
admiring
happened.
herself in the mirror, the energies of the Sonic
There's still so much more
crystals,
for me to
which
do.
caused her to
I need to
transform
read so many
into her
books or
current
finish
state,
so many books,
then
play
escape
so
her
many more
body
games.
and sync with the
Ooh,
energies
ooh, ooh,
which
ooh.
had departed Sonichu earlier.
Hey, it
and
gives me something to
emerge
look forward
in
to.
the moonlight.
I'm not against
The
it.
combination of energies create crystals, and then they all shatter and fall to the earth in millions of pieces. Chris returns
it
to her
goes
female
again.
Christian
Yeah,
Sonichu
sorry,
form
that happens
and finds
sometimes.
one of the shattered crystals, or the Sonichite, on the ground. Meanwhile, Sonichu and Rosechu watch the explosion
It's a bit
in the
finicky.
sky, and then pick up Sonichites, which fell to the ground. They suddenly evolve into their Ultra Sonichu and Incredible Lioness forms, respectively. Their powers soon wear off, and they return to normal. Christine recounts that Magichan has been collecting all the unique Sonichites meant for each individual Sonichu
All the
and
unique
Rosechu,
Sonichites,
and now the
'cause they're
Sonichus have
shite,
them sewed
quite
into
literally.
their socks, and the Rosechus have them put into their barrettes. They would be used as a last resort to transform into their unique mega
Can't
forms.
climb up there,
Christine
so
then
I'm
gets a
gonna
call
get
from
up there.
her
I don't
father,
remember.
who wants her to go
It's like
buy
I haven't
some
been in
TV
fucking
dinners
Desolace
and
forever.
soup. Sonichu and Sonic discuss meeting up again soon, at which point Sonichu will talk about the wedding. The comic concludes with a vow for the story to be continued.
Yay! It will probably
On
take half an
July 3rd,
eternity until we
Christine
get the
shared
next
a photo
pages,
of
but
one of her favorite works of
yay!
fan art, encouraging her that her sweetheart was out there somewhere. The photo also revealed that Chris kept printed versions of private Facebook messages from at least her friend, Jessica Quinn. On the 4th, Chris wished her Facebook followers a happy Independence Day, sharing an altered page from her latest Sonichu comic. 2 days later, she wrote that she cooked a hot hamburger plate with mashed potatoes and gravy, inspired by the work of her late father's old friend, Tony, and posted a photo of it.
I don't believe that.
QB Farms user Lucas Wolf looked up the term hot hamburger plate on Google and found the image Chris used to be the first result on the image search.
Come on, at least go to
On
the
July
second
7th,
page if you want to
she
be
posted
fucking
another
lying about
Captain's
it.
Log video asking about sponsorships.
Chris, come on.
Just a short update today.
Come on.
Because what else?
At least you can go to the
We're
second
up to
page and be,
14
you know.
in book 12. Although it's not totally covered, those are not totally covered in yet. We're up to page 8 on the coloring process, and those pages
Then again,
will
this is
be
a really,
uploaded
really fitting Chris move if you think about it.
onto my
Quite literally.
Patreon
Even if he's
on
lying, he's not good at
this
it.
time on Sunday.
That's the fun part of it,
Anyway,
basically.
so another thing, just another thought I had. You know, I often use and
Okay, let's
enjoy
not start that.
using this Krill as super tip
Immediately.
markers. I was thinking, like, you know,
Start
I'm
this
wondering.
immediately. Where's that one catch of the day? I think
do,
catch of the day is actually
artists
pretty
sometimes
neat
take sponsorships, because if Crayola's hiring and accepting
Sure,
us to be their sponsors,
sure,
then I
Chris.
highly would endorse
How may I aid
the
you?
Crayola products,
Be careful.
because I just love coloring. I do enjoy coloring with the Crayola Super Tip markers, especially from the 50-pack. And I miss those 12, that set of 12 fun-scented markers.
Ah, Chrissy,
Just a thought
you
I
are
had,
such a creature, really,
that's gonna be pretty
truly,
much it
honestly.
for this week's,
There's really no better way of saying it.
this week's Captain's Log. I'll check in a week or two with another update.
Yeah, don't think you're
Have a
going
good,
to
safe day, everyone.
follow
Thank
this.
you for your patronage.
Double.
She
Not for the
later
moment, at
expanded
least.
on her message in a Facebook post.
What we are going to do
Seriously,
is
I could do a commercial for Crayola, rather just to add
Go
color
down
to your
here.
day, or just keeping it all
excuse me.
inside the drawn lines. Hashtag
finish up
Crayola
our
rocks
Warlock
for artists
quest or
of
part of
all
it again.
ages.
And then we'll
On
go
July
down
8th,
here
Chris
and
commented on Twitter that after reading
probably
Sonichu
fly
issue
over
0
to
for the first time in
Redshirt.
many years, and comparing it with her latest comic, she realized how much
this
her
is the right
artistry
way, isn't
had
it?
improved.
Yes.
She also made note of some spelling mistakes she had made back in 2004, but she did not overall regret making the books. It was at around this time that Christine began pledging $25 per month to artist and voiceover actress Doopy Doover's Patreon page. As a reward for her patronage, she could request a custom black and white illustration. Chris had asked
is that
Doopy
a
to
thing?
draw Rose Chew, which she did.
I mean, I never really
later
looked much
thanking
into
her
fucking
for it,
Patreon.
calling the artist Darling.
I always thought
2
it's more
days
like, you
later,
know,
Doopy wrote on
to basically
Twitter that she
give
was working on icon commissions from
or
fans
wanting to
live
give.
on the
But if I
streaming
can get
site
shit out of that, that
Twitch.
could be neat.
Christine simply
Commission
replied,
smart then.
Thank you, Doopy, darling. Close parentheses.
Well, the darling though,
Not
that's...
long after,
Ugh.
Doopy complained about seeing her father when she looked at herself in the mirror. Chris replied that when she looked at herself, she saw herself who loved her, and suggested that Doopy look at herself from a different perspective, ending with calling her cutie. The next day, in response to Doopy declaring that she deserved $1 million, Chris responded that she did too, because she
Aye,
worked a lot
then
around the
too,
home,
more
caretaking
than
her
Chris at
mother
least
and
deserves
also
$1
her
million.
dad,
Where's my
in
$1
addition
million?
to the emotional pains.
Alright, I
It
actually
was also
do
on
the
that day
fucking work
that
to
Christine
earn
wrote of
that.
experiencing a painful few days, only
Excuse
to learn
me.
that she had just passed her first kidney stone.
Ouch.
July 11th, in response to Doopy Doover receiving criticism over drawing pornographic imagery of 16-year-old computer graphic Japanese singer Hatsune Miku, Chris wrote that she
Of course,
supported her,
who thinks
calling
it's
her a
fucking
darling
Miku
sweet soul
porn?
and a great artist.
Amazing.
In response to Doopy Doover seemingly brushing aside Christine's past bad actions.
Well,
because
well,
Chris
well, I might have found an
complimented
artist I need to
her,
take a look
user,
in.
The smallest mage wrote an extended message telling
Das
Doopy
that is rather
that
amusing.
kind words
Also, I
were
do
a
know how
facade,
much people get
that she
annoyed
should
over
be
shit
more
like that.
careful about what she
It's
said about
really
Chris
amazing
before she got
sometimes.
mistreated like her other gal pals. The smallest mage advised Doopy to read up on Chris's history
Honestly,
on the quickie.
actually, at some point I should probably look up
Not
just
make
how
a
much
fool
porn
of
stuff
herself
that's
by
on
making
Amigo
an
at this
awful
point,
person
because
feel
Jesus
better
fucking
about
Christ, I'm
themselves.
sure it's a
Doopy
lot.
responded with a similarly lengthy reply,
Not
stating
as
that
much
she had
as there is of
following
White
this
Man, I'm
since the
assuming, but
beginning,
still
and despite
probably
all
more
the
than
bad stuff
enough.
she had done, she found the trolls to be
Nice.
just as bad as Chris. Dupe admitted that her kind words may be fake and a show, as she was not emotionally invested in their interactions enough to
And
care.
we finished that.
Since
That gives
Chris
us
was a
another
fake
reason to fly
patron
back to
and had
Ratchet.
hired her to do a commission, Dupe showed her the same amount of respect she would to any of her other commissioners or
I mean,
patrons.
that is a
Dupe wished
very,
for
very
people to keep
business
the matter to
perspective. I
themselves
like it.
and assured her critic that she was a
This
big
Dupe
girl who could handle the situation.
seems to have her
In
head on
response,
straight.
Christine wrote a string of tweets. Honestly, how dare you put past errors that I do intend to remedy as soon as humanly possible, albeit
If we
within
can
my
get through
own
here, that is
financial
probably a good
restrictions.
idea.
I never intended to scam anyone, so that part of your textful message is BS. And in the years ago, for the latter, I was naive for a number of things. Even that was reflected in my previous Sonichu books, as I was testing the woodwork, seeing what works and what not. I actually matured mentally and emotionally.
You
and I have
fucking
gained more
liar,
and
you
better
did
wisdom.
not.
I,
You're doing the same
personally,
shit as
prefer
before.
not to
I haven't made
address
sure that fucking
trolls,
all.
such as yourself, at the smallest mage. But
Stop
when one
lying,
unnecessarily
please.
and constantly attacks an innocent person with such outdated trash,
Yes, innocent
then I
person.
feel need to step in. In other words, trolling stupid. Quit assuming the worst about me or anyone. All you are doing.
Chris,
that
Chris,
is
Chris,
making
Chris,
an
Chris,
ass
Chris, you
of
don't
yourself
understand.
at the smallest
You have
age.
proven to
I will
be
not warn you
amongst the
again.
worst.
Leave
No,
the people I talk
naturally
with
people will
alone.
assume that
Good day.
from to you.
Members of the Kiwi
Well,
Farms
okay,
then
he
uncovered
aged.
and publicized the smallest
He
mage's
aged
full
up.
name, home address, and other social media profiles, which prompted the user to delete his Twitter account.
But that's
As
basically all.
Christine continued to interact with Doopy Do-Over, she failed to see how she was nothing more than another one of her many supporters, hoping against
mean,
hope
what-
to strengthen
what
the
were you
relationship, or
expecting?
perhaps advance it further.
If I were
the
to
next
go
level.
to somebody's patron,
would
I
soon
give
find
them
out
some money, and they'd
that
be like,
hope
okay,
can
cool, you
sometimes
give me
be
some money, so now
a
you can
foolish
get
thing.
yourself a nice commission, you know, not commission. Be like, cool. And I would expect, you know, as a paying customer, the amount of respect that is to be expected of that status, you know, between, you know, somebody who's offering a service and somebody who's paying for that service. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all there is, basically. It's kind of how it goes. I do like this Doopy character, though. Seems to have the head pretty straight on if they realize that, you know, patron doesn't just means that you get free money, but actually it, you know, it's also a bit of a business deal. I like that. It's a good perspective. Although I can hardly fathom. Yeah, no, I know I can actually. Let me give you a prognosis for the future, and the way I see it from this point. This is just still a Doopy character. It's probably gonna become the next, well, quote-unquote saga, maybe, potentially, I don't know, could be. But, how and why would anybody at this point interact with Chris, you know? Knowing what you can potentially know. Probably the same reason we are still watching this, and it is basically just morbid curiosity. I'm assuming, you know, if little Doopy there, like me, learned of this through some sources, but I don't really matter which ones. I was like, that sounds crazy, disgusting, and honestly, I can't imagine that to actually be a thing. And I was like, maybe I'm gonna take a look at that. But I don't think, you know, just like myself, I would probably never consider directly wanting to interact with Chris, honestly. I'd probably rather not be associated with that in any way, shape, or form. But you know, there's a certain curiosity to that. To be fair, I can kind of see that point.
What is the attraction?
Yeah, very much assuming that's what's going on here. What?
What keeps us fascinated?
Traveler, may the eternal
This is the
sun
story
Good one.
shine.
of Christian.
Ah, Christian. Now we're going to do a little flyback to Ratchet. We'll quickly finish up our quest, sell some items, and that's probably where I'll log off. Another school day, excuse me. Coming up tomorrow. Then it's 2 more work days.
On July 13th, 2017, in response to Planet's
Then
stolen
it's,
creator, Ladybot, writing on Twitter,
well, that's actually where
of
my
her
shift
want
plan
spend
ends.
all
I
her
need to look
time
up
with
when
her
the next
friends.
one.
Christine replied
What
that she
brings
sent
you?
lots of love back at her. Twitter user James R. Landau
Ancestors.
then replied
well.
to them, linking to the YouTube video of Chris pepper spraying the GameStop employee in
Ah,
2014.
a classic at this point, isn't it?
Chris left a reply. You can go fuck off. Quit trolling people with past, outdated BS. The next day,
Not that
she
old
uploaded
even.
a video on
I guess it
YouTube
would work
in
if
which
they
she
had
reviews
showed a
sour
video
candy.
of
Hello, everybody. This is Christine Chandler.
Chris showing a certain metal up his ass. I would admit that that is a bit old at this point.
Completely different. I present to you, if you're ever gonna try this or a similar candy, soda. Fizzy, outer
Ah yes, angry for responsibility, not apologizing. Sounds like Chris, doesn't it?
It's like soda in your mouth. Look at the image. Get to the camera. Fizzy. It's good, but for a while, it's quite sour. I warn you. This is a live reaction.
Cool.
This is a live reaction.
Yeah, you said so. You can eat that thing.
Alright.
Doesn't seem to be that sour, honestly, going off your reaction.
Too sour makes me put my fist up at impulse. I'm not going to hit anything. Damn, that's sour. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, good question, Chris. Why
This
do
was
you
soon
leave the front door
followed by a
open?
new captain's log.
And yes, we'll call this the captain's log. Captain's log, star date 0714-2017. 747. Look, here's a 747 flying overhead.
I'm pretty sure you would miss it because you spent all days indoor.
Y'all will remember, my recent post where Roberta does the Sonic Rainbow. Kaboom! Big boom! But pretty much now is the only page.
If at all.
Well, that and a few ahead where I actually added the rainbow. So I'm catching up on all the remaining pages and about 5 pages to go, and I have to do all
catching
the
up on your
rainbow
work.
first. You know how hard
I'd
that
rather
is, 'cause
believe
I'm
it's
doing
fucking
it
snowing in hell
one
right about now.
marker at a
You will never
time.
catch up.
I've separated.
You lose interest,
That's kinda need
do something
the
else for a bit,
additional colors,
not come back. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't take a break here and then, especially if it's your personal project. When I do my little art thingies, you know, playing around with pictures, I work for like an hour, so concentrated on it, then I take a short little break, look outside the window, maybe, you know, play a quick round of something,
Okay, so anyway,
then I go back, actually finish my work.
right now. And I thank y'all for your patience, and hopefully I'll have these pages uploaded onto my Patreon Sunday or Monday. Y'all have a good, safe day.
I
Thank
really
you.
don't understand what people
On
pay
July
him for on
15th,
Patreon.
Christine wrote a reply to a tweet from My Little Pony voice actress Tara Strong that she believed that there existed a dimension of Equestria, such as was depicted in the TV show.
I'm not surprised
and
that she
thought
would believe
there
that.
could come a
I'm not
day
really
when
surprised,
people
honestly.
and the ponies could meet. On the 19th, Chris commissioned voice actress and illustrator Doopy Doover $25 to make her a new profile picture of herself. Doopy provided 2 versions, one of Christine with glasses and one without.
Let's take a look at that,
Expressed her
shall we?
adoration
Go back a bit. Okay, that's the version with glasses.
One of Christine with glasses and one without.
Not bad actually, I like it. That is a bit simple. I've seen more complex drawings in my time. Heck, I've seen more complex hentai drawings in my time. Not bad, not bad.
Chris expressed her adoration
I'd pay for that
the
at least.
illustration
25
and used
for
it as
that?
the
Well,
profile
sure,
avatar
I'll
for
pay 25 for
Twitter,
that.
Facebook,
Seems
and
like a good
Patreon.
deal.
She also printed it out and hung it on the wall in her room. On July 22nd, Chris went to Twitter to encourage donations of around $50 as her family was in need of financial help.
Again.
The next day, Chris became Facebook friends with Doopy Doover. It was soon uncovered that the account was likely the creation of a troll pretending to be Doopy, as the account was deactivated shortly after. On August 1st, Doopy wrote that she kept experiencing panic attacks. Chris suggested some medication which had personally helped her. Also on that day, Christine became a patron for 2 more pages, Planet Dolan, which Doopy was a part of, and Kitten Bell, the account Doopy used to create pornographic illustrations. In response to a collage of nude drawings on the page, Chris left her a suggestion. I enjoy your drawing style, despite the content. I have an idea for the next one, or future one, for your Kitten Bell. Vinyl Scratch and Octavia, humans, being on each other. Maybe they're both sitting up, making out, and fondling/fingering. put on a jammin' boombox, playing some dubba/cello mix. Later again, Christine wrote a tweet to celebrate National Girlfriend Day and tagged several voice actresses and creators, mostly those involved with My Little Pony or Planet Dolan, which included Doopy. She replied to Chris, simply writing, "You don't know me, Christine."
A fair statement and a fair assumption.
"Yes, I don't totally know you, but you are a good person, like all I've listed here. Y'all are girls, and at least acquaintances up to.
I do love that that's the most important point. You're all girls.
To me, counts as much.
If being a female makes you a good person, I
must
have been met with a few mutants along my life, because I know that women can be as much of an asshole as any man.
On my sleeve. Doopy advised her against doing so, to which Chris wrote that she likes to care for others as well as herself.
No, actually, that's good advice, Chris. Please, listen.
Caring people make a difference. Doopy told Chris that if she wore her heart on her sleeve, she would set herself up for disappointment.
Yes.
Doopy added further that Chris had made that mistake many times in the past, and that it was unhealthy and worrisome, so she should instead focus on herself. Chris replied that if she focused on herself all the time, then she would not be able to share her kindness and make many friends. Doopy responded by writing that she did not appreciate Chris's use of emojis and pet names, and did not agree with Chris supporting her on Patreon when her mother, Barbara, was sick and needed money. She further wrote that she did not appreciate receiving personal emails on her business account, finding it extremely creepy. She added that she wanted to refund the money as Barbara deserved it. Chris urged her to keep the pledges, as the Chandlers would be financially stable after receiving the payments from her own Patreon page. She wrote that the previous month, her biggest spend was buying a complete printed set of Sonichu comics for her friend from the Pokemon League as a birthday present.
That's one hell of a major quest.
Do-over that Christine would not listen to her reasoning, and said that Chris might let her mother die because she prioritized toys and emotional validation. Chris rejected those claims,
a harsh statement,
blocked and
true.
reported the user. A different commenter told the artist that Chris would not give 1 cent to her mother. Chris rebutted, saying she had just bought her mother a lot of groceries. She went to Doopy's business email and sent her a message privately to discuss the matter.
"Hey, how you doing?"
Keep the $50.
Jesus Christ.
I want to help you a little better. Plus, I did want to get a shirt. I did not realize that was a business part. And I did not intend to come off as creepy. Believe me, I know that feeling from a crazy fan and what else. Plus, I'd learned years ago about what from me came off as creepy, and I tried to avoid those things. Second, this morning, after I awoke Moar from waking up after 2 a.m., I found Vim's tweet about hashtag National Girlfriends Day. I realized that while I still have yet to find my sweetheart, I did count y'all on Twitter as up to friends who are girls/women. I also counted my closet friends from Pokemon League, a couple of other gal pals, and one who likes me, but while I like her too, I still have not met her yet. She lives not far from me, so the feeling is not yet totally fulfilled. I was showing my appreciation for my blessing of my growing circle of friends, local and far. I did not mean for it to go crazy like I did. Anyhow, I'm guessing this email is not your business email, but if it is, please correct me. I like talking with you from time to time, but not in anything beyond simple acquaintances to friendship. I'm still learning what is okay and what is not okay to do, and taking notes for future and present references. Keep a happy thought, darling. Sent from my iPhone. Stay safe, Christine W. Chandler. Doopy wrote back that while she appreciated Christine's kindness, it had caused her a lot of problems. She intended to refund the pledges and let Chris use the money to buy a shirt from her online store. She added that she could not accept her patronage anymore and would appreciate if Chris did not tweet publicly at her for both of their sakes.
Very fair point to make.
Christine made a video addressing the harassment the two have been receiving on Twitter ever since their public falling out.
Let's rap for a moment, okay? Because you're harassing other people, and it's at my expense. I do not appreciate that.
Well, call me surprised.
You want to harass somebody about me, talk bad about me, you send that harassment directly to me. No one else.
Are you asking for fucking
will
harassment?
Not have my friends and allies
they're not your friends, nor are they your allies. At
so
best, they
abruptly
are passing
every
acquaintance.
time. So
Why do you find it so
don't
hard to
harass
understand
this
that?
person. Don't harass that person. You wanna talk smack about me? You talk directly to me. Do you understand?
No, I don't. I
And
don't
don't
think
ever
I
let
want
me
to.
catch you talking about me to anyone else on anyone else's timelines, comment sections, Twitter, or wherever.
that would be enough.
That's outside of your own goddamn forum, you trolls. Don't ever let me catch you. For real? Bad-mouthing me to anyone, harassing them at my expense.
Very scary. Yes, scary.
Do you understand me? You better damn well understand me.
I don't. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I think this is where we're once again gonna have to make a cut. As I said, this week is once again gonna be mainly made of easy to digest content. So basically now, somewhere between WoW and Yakuza probably. I do have some more projects, but I kind of would like to take some extra time when I start them and, you know, not feeling half dead while I'm doing so, because that kind of feels a bit, you know, unfair. Actually, towards both things, it would be unfair to a potential viewer who comes like, hey, I like this, I would like to see somebody enjoy this, and in the community is like me going like, I'm so tired. That wouldn't be nice now, would it? As I said, I do want to do justice to most of these titles, because they actually are great titles. And, well, I'm assuming at least, it takes about around about 3 weeks, I think, until you get some routine usually, so since we've done 1 week already, this week and next week is probably going to be the ones that are going to be really tiresome, and after that it's probably going to get a bit better. At worst, I just assume, because I'm actually changing departments quite a bit, my new job a bit at the moment, maybe 4 weeks, so, you know. Don't expect any wonders. I mean, it is kind of playing into my cards anyway, because, well, we have a limited time to play, and if I actually want to reasonably achieve max level in Classic, that is going to require some time. But hey, I'm making good progress on Christian Saga, and so we might at some point actually reach the end of it. Here's hoping, basically. Quite a bit hoping, actually. Excuse me. Yeah, there's that. So we'll make it nice and easy today. And so I shall bid you adieu for the moment. Have a good one and all of that. And let me quickly look who has dropped by, shall we? On the right side, we had, of course, you know, good old-fashioned Snowy coming by. Being interested in what sort of horror show we're watching. Well, as you have probably seen at this point, we watched more Chris. Because, you know, a very long-lasting horror show. I do kind of like this format, though, of us actually having basically a dual thing going on. So, I might actually keep the format and use it in the future for other things. Heck, we could watch whole documentaries if we felt inclined to do so. Heck, we could even have little votes about it, you know? So go like, hey, I want to see, I don't know, a documentary about fucking the Battle of Stalingrad. And we could do a little voting, go like, yes, this is going to be the topic until it runs out, or until we get bored of it. Stuff like that. Rather interesting, isn't it? But yeah, all in future time. Now, on the other side of the argument, good old-fashioned left side, we have, well, one person, and one person only today. Little strategy mama coming by and helping me stay sane with this horror show that is Christian's life. What a fucking horror show it is. Truly and honestly. But hey, we're making progress, at the very least. I think that is everybody I can easily name, so for the rest of you, or the more lurking kind, yes, you lurkers, do feel appreciated too. Pat yourself on the shoulder for a job well done indeed. And I do hope to see you all again tomorrow. Might actually be another wall stream because we kind of stopped the Christian episode right there in the middle, and I kind of would not like to keep it like that. I will try to actually get home a bit earlier so we can maybe get another episode or two in. Now, just quickly squeeze it in there. But we'll see about that. We'll try our bestest, but no promises for the moment. Yeah, I think that is everything I needed to say for the moment at least. So, once again, have a good one and